the fortune in the follow up. When I say the fortune is in the follow up or the fortune in the follow up, I mean that's where you're going to close the majority of your leads. It's not going to happen most of the time. It's not going to happen unless they're really desperate and they're just exhausted and they've kind of been through a lot of different places or sources or agencies and stuff like that. Will you be able to close them on the phone on the first call? Other than that, it's going to take some work on your part. And how and what that work is just following up. It's not um, any magic to it. It's just about being consistent and having the means to do it. So one of the, when I say contact sources, the first bullet point here, contact sources are basically how are you going to get in contact with this lead once you get off the phone with them. Obviously, you should have a phone number, but then you want to make sure that the phone number is their number because they could be calling you from a friend's house. They could be calling you from somebody else's house. They can call them from work. They can call you from. They might be calling you from a cell phone that they don't want to receive calls from, or that they don't necessarily check often. So you definitely want to make sure that you have multiple contact sources. You want to have a phone number, an address, an email. Those are like the top three things that you want to get on that first phone call. Because again, if you're not able to call them and they're not returning your calls, you can always send them a letter or you can shoot them an email. And these are some of the things that you want to do. When it comes to letters, you're gonna see some attachments there that you can download and give you some examples of what type of follow-up letters you can send. Just some simple letters that you can send to your leads once you get them in the system. That you can send them, say like every 21 to 30 days, you can send them a letter until they become your client. Follow-up isn't one time. It isn't a one-time thing. The person who follows up the most wins the client. And we try to follow up with all of our leads within 28 to 30 days after the initial phone call if we haven't heard anything back from them. And usually that first contact is going to be a phone call. We'll call them, see how they're doing, see if if they've made their decision, and stuff like that. Just to kind of let them know that we're still ready to get them service. We're still, we're available to provide services for them. If that doesn't lead with anything, okay, we're going to follow up again with an email or a letter. Usually what we start with, we put you in the email, we're going to put them on the email newsletter. So they're going to start getting emails that month, and they're going to get an email every month after that. And we cover that in the email section, email marketing. So that's the way that we kind of cancel out the email aspect of it. We just put it on autopilot. And then also you can send out letters. Letters, again, we try to send them out at least every 28 to 30 days until they become our clients. There's some other things that you can do with phone numbers. We do a call broadcast like every 60 days to all of our leads, and that's it's an actual recording. I know you've received them. Everyone has received them at some point where you pick up the phone. It looked like it's a regular number calling you, but you pick it up and it's a recording. And then basically what we're saying on that recording is the same thing that we'll probably say in a letter or on a follow-up call. Just, hey, this is Dale with Just Caring Hands Home Health Services. Following up with you, letting you know that we're still interested and ready to do provide great service with you. All of our girls are CPR certified, CNA certified. We're licensed and bonded, insured, and stuff like that. Just kind of reminding them who we are and telling them that we're always ready to take their their service if they need it. And it's about a 30-second recording. It's nothing real long, and you could use that. We actually use a service called Call Fire. callfire.com to set that up, and you just take all your contacts' phone numbers and put them into the system, and then you can kind of send a voice broadcast. It's like sending a mass call to all of them, and it's pretty inexpensive. And like we said, we try to do it every 60 days. We don't want to do it too much. People do get annoyed with it. We've had a couple people call like, "Hey, stop! Don't ever do that again," and this and that, and this and that. So we do it anyway, and they have the option to get off the list, and obviously they won't receive a call once they opted out of the list. But we do it every 60 days. And another thing you could do is send text messages. SMS is just text message broadcast with the same thing, with the same concept, and we'll do that as well. Um, to just majority of people have smartphones these days, so it's just like a quick text message. Hey, this is Just Caring Hands, home health services, looking to provide you with your home care services, or your home care needs, help you with your home care needs. Give us a call, and then throw the phone number in there. Most smartphones these days, if you put the number in there right, they'll be able to just call you right then, like straight off that message, that text message. They'll be able to just click your number right in their text message and call you instantly. And that's the plus from the SMS messaging, the broadcast, because it gives them a easy way for them to contact you. And just remember, like, never stop following up. You can get a call this month, and they might not become a client until March. You know what I mean? Or till 3, 6, 10 months later. They just become they just weren't ready, or they went with another company, and then that company didn't do so great. So then now they're going to give you guys a call, and give you guys a chance. So never stop following up. Never stop the contact with the actual leads to come in, and these are leads coming off your bandit signs, off your brochure racks, off your newsletters and stuff like that. So once they're in your system, you want to keep hitting them. You want to keep reminding them about you, what you do, and who you are. And the best way to do it is to find you a great CRM. And CRM stands for Custom Relationships Management Software. And the two that I've worked with, three. Zoho CRM, which is, I think it's actually free. If you get under 2 people, you can have under 2 administrators, one or two administrators, and it's free. So that's a free one, Zoho.com or ZohoCRM.com. And then we use ADLware, and now we're at Access Care. And we use Access Care now for all our CRM tools. And once you get in there, I don't want to sit here and kind of explain what a CRM service is, but it's a customer relationship management service. So what it does is it allows you to put all of your leads information in the software, and then set times and dates and reminders to what you sent. Like when did they get a letter? When did they get an email? The last time you spoken with them, the notes on that last call, that last contact, that last email, the last time. You can put all that in the notes, so when you do follow up with them the next time, you can pull up their information and have their latest information, so you won't have to kind of start from scratch. And that's what the CRM, so that CRM helps you with that, and it also helps you remember when to follow up with them. So like you'll get a notification in your CRM service, and it'll say, hey, the Johnsons sent him a letter today. It's time to send him. It's been 30 days. You need to send him a letter. And when did you do that? You put that in there the day that the day on the phone when they first called you. So when you put in their actual lead into the system, you can set parameters to say, okay, remind me to send a letter in 30 days, 60 days, 7. So email, voice broadcast, etc. So the fortune is usually in the follow-up. All the money is made in your follow-up. Like I said in the beginning, it's very seldom that you're going to close someone straight off the first phone call, but you'll definitely close people if you're following up with them in these different ways. So definitely take your follow-up very seriously. if you have some help, you have an assistant. This is one of the most important things that I would train them to do and have them consistently do once the leads start coming in. Because once you got a nice amount of phone calls coming in, it can kind of you'll get kind of caught up on what's happening today, opposed to like the follow ups and what's not going, what's going on, what happened, 2 weeks ago or last week. You'll kind of lose track of those leads because you got some new leads that's hot right now, but those leads are just as valuable because you already spent marketing dollars to get those actual leads. So try to maximize your marketing dollar by closing as many leads as possible. And one thing I want you guys to remember, every time your phone rings and somebody's asking for a home care service, that's $40,000 to $80,000 on that phone call. That's what the average phone call or home care client should should net or gross your company. You know, based on the amount of service and the amount of time that they're working with you guys. So um, that's a $40 to $80,000 on that phone call every time it rings. So take it very serious. It's the difference between having a home care service that's profitable or just kind of struggling and trying to figure it out. And believe it or not, it's all in the follow up. A lot of people fall off. Big companies and small drop the ball when it comes to follow up. Let's not drop the ball. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, feel free again to just post them at the bottom, and we'll get to them as quickly as possible. Thanks a lot.